Dusseldorf, March 1910. Theo and Louise's flat. We are the combined living room kitchen of an apartment. Two upstage doors allow us to see two small bedrooms, one elevated several feet above the other on a landing. There is a bird in a cage. There is a sign placed in a high window. Room for rent.
This did not happen. It could not happen, yet it did.
No one even noticed.
In front of the neighbors, in front of strangers. And at the king's parade, for God's sake, the king himself could have seen you.
No one saw me.
So the story just spread itself.
It was nothing.
It was nothing? It was nothing? Tell me if this is nothing. In broad daylight, on a city street, you are standing out in public and your underpants fall down. I can't believe this happened to me.
It didn't happen to you.
But they will blame me. They will blame me for having a wife who is so distracted by staring out the window, who is so hypnotized by a canary in a cage that she can't even tie a tiny knot in two slender cords. I'm sorry, but I am a responsible wage earner. I cannot have my underpants go flopping down because I must bring home $600 a year plus bear the responsibility of renting out a room so we can put dinner on the table, clothe ourselves, and keep the place heated.
The whole event lasted 2 seconds.
Haven't you heard? Time is relative.
I pulled them up.
Please, don't be graphic.
They were on tight. They fell.
Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? I'll be fired. What about my income?
Oh, Theo.
Louise, everything in my world is running perfectly. But here at home, how can the floor be so dirty? How can the clock not be wound? How can the dishes be so piled up? And how, I ask you how, can your panties in broad daylight just fall down?
You know me. You've known me since I was a little girl.
And?
You know that I like to dream.
Dream the dishes done.
You used to like my reveries.
In a girl, yes. There's nothing lovelier. There was nothing better to do with all that free time but to lie around as pretty as an orchid. But now you're a woman. Reality is here. It is in this room, in the dust on the floor, in that dirty sink.
Oh, phooey. I keep the place nice.
Look how deeply affected I am.
Yes, you're very sensitive.
You know I hate attention. A little attention, and the next thing you know, I'm out of a job. I am a government clerk. I blend in. You know why I never buy you a pretty dress or hat or new coat?
Remind me.
Because you are much too attractive for a man in my position. Your breasts, your legs, they draw the eyes. My job and your appearance do not go together. Everyone notices you. And it's your fault.
My fault?
The woman's fault, always.
Here we go again.
What are breasts? Harmless, utilitarian, lumps of flesh. But you squeeze them into a sweater and mountains move.
I don't promote myself.
You don't have to. Flesh speaks to men from under coats, under caftans, under furs, from igloos. There's always a small voice calling, I am here.
Men can't be like that.
What if I lose my job?
Why would you lose your job?
I was told His Royal Highness was in the parade.
He was passing at the very moment.
Oh.
But that's good. Everyone was looking at him, not me.
And suppose he hears about this fiasco. Suppose he hears I am one of his clerks. He discovers my section, my bureau, my name. The king cannot abide scandal. He will have to fire me. The next thing you know, we're out on the street. Poverty, shame, hunger.
All from a pair of underpants?
Don't underestimate the power of a glimpse of lingerie. I'm exhausted.
How would you like your wiener grilled?
Take the knife and slice it from tip to end, not crossways like you usually do.
One wiener, sliced from tip to end. My pleasure. And for dessert?
Peaches and whipped cream. Do we have some?
I could get some from Gertrude.
Gertrude Deuter, the mouth who lives upstairs. Nosy. Oh, wow.
He stands up and shakes his fist at the apartment above where Gertrude lives.
Nosy. Nosy, nosy. Oh, wow.
He glares at the newspaper on the kitchen table. Louise busies herself about the kitchen.
Reports of a monster in the Loch Ness. It baffles the scientists and it bothers me. I do not need these little mysteries. The unexplainable makes me nervous. I have my home and everything that comes in the door I understand. I don't have to worry that the faucet will spit fire. I do not have to worry that the bird will attack the dog. The clock will strike 6 when it is 6 and not 7. It is like me. It is my kind of clock. Monsters in a lake. Monsters in a lake. All is calm on the surface, but watch out for what's underneath. That's where the danger lies. Underpants.
He throws down his paper, gets up.
I'm going to go out and circulate around the town and catch wind of what people are saying. See if I still have an income. Please have dinner ready when I get back.
Do you feel better now?
Only when I think how good life has been until today.
He leaves. Louise follows him until the stairway landing, until he is gone. Then she calls from the window.
Gertrude!
I've been listening, Louise.
Then you know about my little accident?
I heard some gossip in the street.
How much did you hear?
Oh, should I come down?
Please.
Gertrude enters immediately. She's been listening at the door.
What did you hear?
I heard it wasn't so bad. They were clean cotton, neat, and perfectly ironed.
Well, of course.
And very few people know the story.
Where did you hear it?
It was announced at the train station. How did it happen?
I was trying to see the king. I was on a bench on my tippy toes.
It slims the waist.
They begin to giggle. Gertrude joins in, running her hands along her own waist.
Suddenly, I felt my underpants around my ankles.
A welcome breeze in the netherworld.
Gertrude!
They say you looked lovely. I heard a couple of men turn their heads. Quite a lot.
I kept my dignity. I stepped out of them, bent down, and swept them under my shawl like lightning.
Tomorrow, everyone will say the whole thing was a perfectly planned piece of coquetry.
Oh, God, my husband can't stand it when people talk.
Well, he'll just have to get used to a lot of things. Like, where the sun shines is where people want to talk.
What do you mean?
Like a pretty girl turns heads, and there's nothing he can do about it.
He's just being a man.
He's not all men. There are better ones.
Please, Gertrude, do you have any whipped cream?
I do. I'll get it. I heard him.
Cautious.
Louise, haven't you been married about a year?
A year this Sunday.
And?
And?
The patter of little feet?
Oh.
Can that just be chance? Or is it that your husband is not doing his job?
He works hard.
I mean, his job between the sheets.
Gertrude!
I'll get your whipped cream.
Gertrude exits. Noise from offstage. Then a man gently knocks on the door. He is Frank Versotti, an elegant gentleman. He enters through the open door.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I saw you have a room for rent.
Yes, we do.
We?
Yes, my husband and I.
Of course, but the room is still for rent.
Yes, but my husband is out.
Chris.
Louise?
I'll have a look around the property and come back.
Your name?
He vanishes up the stairwell. Gertrude appears with a bowl of whipped cream.
Whipped cream! And more. I've been thinking. Your husband is shirking his duty. You deserve something in you at night besides sauerkraut. I'll show you a few tricks, give you hints for looking good. I'm going to help you turn him into a ravenous beast. Take this.
She hands Louise the whipped cream.
I can't wait to work on you.
She exits. Versotti reappears.
My husband is not back yet.
You must have some authority.
Would you like to know the rate?
No,
Would you like to see the room?
that's not necessary.
You would rent a room without seeing it?
Yes,
Why?
because your underpants this morning on the Grand Boulevard.
Oh my god, who are you?
I am a poet, unpublished, I am proud to say, but one who has now found his muse.
Please.
I will explain. By metaphor. No, by simile. No, I will not beat around the bush. Oh my God, what an inappropriate illusion. I am not the master of my soul. Though for a few hours ago I was. It seems I am engulfed by the rising tide of my own humors. What a beautiful line. Where is my pen?
He can't find it.
Damn society's loss. You see, I believe in miracles, and I finally had one appear to me under a linden tree. There you were, bathed in sunlight, with panicked eyes, and a quivering body, and there I was, shaken by life, a momentous crossroads. In those few seconds when you bent down and collected your underpants, you tore my heart from the things that I thought I loved and fixed it only on you.
Louise is breathless.
Ah, silence. Good. For silence is devotion.
He moves towards her.
I don't know what to say.
Then let me speak. From this day on, sorry, Carrie, I will desire you with all the strength of my soul, unwavering, disavowing all others.
Please stand up.
I cannot stand, for my veins are stiff with certainty.
She looks between his legs, steps back, shocked.
For God's sake, if my husband comes!
The room you have for rent, how much is it?
15 thaler.
I'll take it. The discussion is over.
Who would believe an elegant gentleman living in this neighborhood?
I'll dress as a laborer, a wealthy gentleman hod carrier.
And you would live here?
In the extra room.
What about my husband?
If he comes, just introduce us. I'm renting the room.
And you are?
Versotti. Franklin Angelo the Cat Luigi Versotti II. Sorry, the third.
You should get up. He'll be coming back soon.
Between the sound of his key in the lock and the opening of the door, I will be fleet like Jupiter. Wait, Jupiter is not fleet. Make that Mercury.
Get up.
You'll agree then?
They play the pause.
And the ellipsis sounds a yes.
But my husband.
Think of him as a necessary part of the triangle. You are the flint, I am the fire, and he is a wet piece of wood. I'll be back.
He exits, leaving the door ajar. Louise goes into the guest room. The stage is bare. We hear a knock, and the door swings open from the force. Enter Klingelhoff. He looks around, surveying the place.
Hello?
After a moment, he exits. Louise reappears with a ladder. She climbs the ladder halfway to a high window. Gertrude enters. She looks around.
Louise? 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 Ah, in the clouds, as usual.
What do you mean?
Who was he? Who was that gentleman?
Hold on, sir.
I'm not deaf.
Yep, I've just replugged it. Am I back?
Yep.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Nope,
Okay.
now I hear you. Now I hear you.
All right, guys. I'm going back up the ladder. Chris, we're backing up. Sorry, live audience. All right. Gertrude, enter.
Louise?
Up here.
In the clouds, as usual.
What do you mean?
Who was he?
Who was who?
Who was that gentleman?
How do you know there was a gentleman here?
I'm not deaf.
And obviously not nosy.
I was cleaning my floor. And you know how when you're scrubbing, you put your ear to the floor for leverage? Oh, look, he was practically orating. What did he want?
What do you think?
Dreamy.
Wanted by a gentleman. I'd give 10 years of my life. Where did he meet you?
He saw me this morning,
In all your glory!
bending over to retrieve them.
And he sprang like a tiger,
He was out of control.
shook to his roots. And you responded.
Of course not. But he's renting the room from us.
Ah, so your ascent to the heights makes sense.
Louise plucks the "For Rent" sign out of the window. Gertrude looks up her dress.
Ah, I see what all the fuss was about.
Gertrude, you're naughty.
She comes down the ladder.
Oh my god. I'm going to have an affair.
What do you mean?
Because I lived through you! And you are going to have a lover.
No!
I'll see to it. I'm coming to be your fairy godmother. Here's what we're going to do. You should dress so your husband only sees his old Cinderella, but underneath, I'll make you a pair of panties that will raise his flag higher and higher.
How can you say that? I'm married.
So was Catherine the Great. And she slept with a horse.
I can't.
But a god is here to claim you. You can't say no.
My husband would kill me if he found out.
I'll see that he never does. A little smoke can blind 1,000 eyes.
I refuse.
It's too late. You're already thinking about it. Whenever you sat in front of that window, looking out, dreaming, you were thinking of it. When you stare at the bird in the cage, you're seeing yourself. Why hasn't your husband used the year he's had with you to make your blood flow faster? Why aren't you pregnant?
He says we can't afford a child. We have to save up.
While he saves up, you look out the window for a real lover.
Confessing.
Except for our wedding night, I'd still be a virgin. He keeps saying 600 taler a year.
I want that gentleman to be your lover.
Oh my God, the wieners!
Yes, every last one of them!
She opens the stove.
Our dinner is burned.
Oh, I have some sausages cooking upstairs. I'll give them to you.
You'll save me.
I'll be right back.
She runs up the stairs. Louise is alone. She goes to the window, looks out. She opens it and takes a long, deep breath in front of it. She then stands center stage and deliberately rises on her tiptoes. Nothing happens. She rises again, trying to see if her underpants will fall down. They don't. Louise to herself.
How did they fall?
She tries again.
Unrepeatable. It must have been the Lord who did it.
Gertrude appears with a pan of sausage.
Here, it's almost ready. Just put it in the stove and heat it up.
How can I thank you?
By listening. I've wanted to tell you this for a long time. Your husband is a loud, clanking machine. Get in his way and he'll run you over. But like all hot air machines, you can hear him coming. So I'll be your lookout.
Considering.
You make it seem so easy.
Aren't you tired of him wagging his finger at you?
Oh, the thought of having a lover, someone who wants me, someone who swims in my flesh and drowns in my breasts, someone to whom I am aromatic. Will you help me?
Only if you follow my advice. When your husband's home, you're the dutiful wife. But between the hours of 9 and 3, when your husband is at work, you know what's going to be happening to you?
Go get the fabric.
Your husband's only getting what he deserves.
Gertrude, one thing. Don't judge me.
How can I judge? My heart races along with yours.
I'm blushing.
Like being a girl again.
How do I know he'll want me?
Just wait till you make your entrance in the panties I made for you.
You've opened a dam inside me.
They giggle ferociously and celebrate, hugging each other.
Oh, and one other thing.
She produces a vial of fluid.
For safety.
What is it?
It's a sleeping mixture from the chemist. For your husband. In case you want to make a night visit.
Does it work?
Remember that weekend when I was gone? This is where I was.
She holds up the vial.
1 teaspoon, and he's a hibernating bear.
She takes the vial and puts it in a cabinet. There are loud footsteps coming from outside.
Shh. Your husband's coming.
How can you tell?
It's either him or a Clydesdale. You see what a good sentry I am?
Here, quick, set out the forks.
She stops to dream.
I remember seeing a painting of a woman on a sofa, swathed in a veil. A man stands over her, parting her legs with his foot.
He's coming.
I imagine myself as that woman, giving up everything to him. He lies between my legs.
Stop!
He is above me. He looks into my eyes and says,
The door opens. Theo walks in.
Is the sausage in the oven?
Oh my God.
"It's almost ready."
Gertrude hurries out. She bumps into Benjamin Cohen, 35, thin, asthmatic. He is with Theo.
What did you do with the for rent sign?
The room's rented? Oi.
It is.
What?
Aye. I said aye. Yay. The room's rented.
To Cohen.
Don't worry. I gave you my word.
Yes, you did.
To Louise.
How much?
15 thaler.
Including?
Not including.
How about 15 thaler without?
Wait, without what?
Without coffee. The way she makes it, it's not something you want, believe me. I wish you had spoken to me first. Now look at the mess. I only left the house in the first place because of you. And see what happens. Trouble.
To
Look,
Cohen.
I don't want to be greedy. Who is just as important to me as how much? What do you do,
Cohen.
Cohen?
Cohen.
Jewish?
No.
Look into the light.
Yeah.
Theo grabs him by the face and turns him into the light.
That's Cohen with a K.
You understand I really don't mind.
Yes, I can tell.
Well then.
Shakes Cohen's head.
So, you were going to pay 12 thaler for the room.
With coffee.
And now, there's someone who can take the room for 15. Put yourself in my shoes.
Well, I hope that arithmetic won't compromise your promise to me.
Of course not. How could I be a Welsher? This country produced Schiller. It produced Luther. It produced me.
And Wagner.
And me.
And Wagner.
And me. You're a good German. The deal is done.
They shake hands.
Stay. Have a bite with us.
But
I would love to.
we have another renter.
I have a plan. But first, tell us about yourself. Cohen with a K.
My parents died young. Thus, I work with my hands.
Nothing wrong in that.
I've been 3 years in the same job. I'm a barber.
I respect the working man.
At night, every penny I can spare is for Wagner. I've seen Lohengrin 3 times.
Good man.
One is transported.
Do you exercise?
Not a lick. My health is poor.
He coughs and slaps his chest.
What's wrong with your health?
Well, there's no specific diagnosis. My mother was delicate. She never ate well. My father drank more than he should.
Feel my thigh.
Massive.
Feel these.
Enormous.
I could lift you in the air 100 times. You stay with us, we'll feed you, give you some weight.
Shouldn't we think about it?
Give him a cigar to celebrate.
We're out. You were going to get some.
That's right, this morning. Your scandal made me forget. Meanwhile, I have a solution to this whole mess. You see, we could, if it were for a long lease, put up a wooden screen and create 2 rooms out of 1.
I don't know if he'd do that.
You've given me your word.
My God, you will have your room, Herr Cohen. I'll get some cigars for the closing of the deal. Wait here.
Well,
This location must be convenient. Do you work at the barber shop across the street?
I work on Linden Street.
Linden Street? That's a half-hour walk.
Yes, I know.
That's a hike every morning.
It is a bit far.
This is a less expensive neighborhood.
Not really.
Are you all right? You seem nervous.
Nervous. Yeah, I am a bit.
But why would you be nervous?
Well, interesting.
Is it?
Well, it's just that,
Yes? What?
Underpants.
Pardon me?
Today, this morning, when your underpants fell down, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So naughty. I got so excited. And how often is the chimney swept?
Cigars to close the deal.
I don't smoke.
No wonder you're so puny. Cigars strengthen the body. See my ribcage? Room in there for everything. Air, perfume from the ladies, smoke. Deep breath. Arms out. Bend backward. Hold that pose. I'll get the door.
Louise?
How dare you come in here?
I had to.
Go away.
I won't.
And relax.
I presented my application to your wife.
Yes, my wife told me you were interested in the room.
But your wife accepted. It's a deal.
However, in the meantime, without knowing of your offer, I received an application from Herr Cohen, with a K, who comes from a good German family, and I rented it out.
Herr Cohen was just saying that he wants to leave.
I most certainly did not.
So what I was thinking was that we should divide the room. It's almost 2 rooms already. I'll close it off with furniture and a divider, and you could take your pick. Come on, I'll show you the space.
I will tell my husband.
I can't stop you, but if you do, I will tell him the real reason why that gentleman is renting a room in this house.
You know him?
I do know him.
How well?
Extremely well.
He's a friend?
No.
A relative?
No.
Then...
I have colored his hair twice.
Really?
He won't remember me, but I know all about him. I saw him this morning. When your panties fell down, I was lying on the ground only 2 steps away.
2 steps away? Lying on the ground? That's disgusting.
To me, it was paradise. If I saw what I think I saw, oh, please, let it be what I think I saw.
Herr Cohen.
And just now, when I saw the look on Versati's face, I knew that he wanted the same thing.
Theo and Versati re-enter.
Herr Versati agrees. He'll pay 15 thaler, and not only that, he only intends to use it for certain hours of the day.
I'll slip in and out without you knowing it.
And my wife, sir, has able hands and is willing to please a person of your standing.
If you insist.
Louise, every morning, you will make his bed.
Yes, dear.
Well, 2 new boarders. What could be more perfect?
He goes to a drawer.
Here are your keys. The facilities are upstairs. No flushing after midnight. It arouses the cats. Oh, and as I am in the civil service, I'm obliged to ask you both if you are planning to work against the government or undertake anything subversive.
I am what you see.
How could I be otherwise?
It makes me proud to know that there are still such honorable men in Germany.
Oh, then we start tonight.
Tonight!
To Versati.
And the contract will last a year.
Done. Dear
To
lady.
Louise.
Shallow.
Cohen leaving. Versati and Cohen exit.
Well, 2 paying boarders. We, my dear, are better off than we were this morning. Thank God your slutishness has had no consequences.
I don't like the barber. He says he's sick. He'll bring his diseases into the house.
He's not sick. He's sickly. There's a difference.
But why have him in your home?
12 thaler a month. Think of it, Louise.
He starts to leave.
Oh, and didn't you just laugh when the other one turned to you and said, "Dear lady," to my little Louise who lost her panties?
He begins to laugh. Louise is worried about Cohen.
I mean, didn't you just laugh, dear lady?
Louise aside.
Oh, Gertrude, what am I to do?
Blackout.
Well, Cohen, one night sleeping near the window, and you've got a robust glow. I knew it would be good for you. Versati wanted to sleep next to the furnace, but it dries out the nasal passages.
Hey, what do you know about this Versati?
The gentleman, as far as I can tell, is pursuing a personal affair.
Ah, an affair.
No, a personal affair. Please, use your words correctly. There's a big difference.
Well, you're very precise.
Of course, not to be precise is to take the long way round. From 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, I have official papers in front of me. How could I not be precise?
I am the opposite. I have to keep my customers entertained. I have to keep blathering. Sense, nonsense, puns, anecdotes.
That's the difference between you and me. I am a realist. I face things as they are. You even lie to yourself about your own health. What time do you have to be at work?
Not till 10.
Then go walking in the morning. Get some exercise.
I'll get winded.
Only at first. Plus, you need to find out what's wrong with you,
Why?
so you know where you stand.
Well, if I found out something was wrong with me, I just get sicker worrying about it. So what is the use of truth?
Oh, good God, man. What good are lies?
Everything around us is lies.
Are you crazy? Everything around us is lies? Your statement is the only lie in this household.
Nonsense. They are everywhere.
Where are there lies in this household? With Herr Versati?
Oh, no doubt.
With my wife?
Perhaps.
And you?
It could be.
So you are not really a barber. You're a disguised baron. My wife's lover, who has wormed his way in here.
I beg your pardon.
A fellow of unimaginable strength, of glowing health, like a titan, standing astride the river of masculinity.
Louise enters from the bedroom.
Louise, you can leave your bourgeois life behind you. Cohen here is a baron, your lover, and everything around us is a lie. Here, Cohen, you are a jester. You're going to make things very entertaining around here. I'm going out for some air. It builds the corpuscles. Come with me, Cohen. It'll do you good.
I think I need the rest.
Like a titan astride the river of masculinity.
He exits. Cohen's indignity fades.
He makes it so easy.
Makes what easy?
It's amazing how trusting he is.
Until today, he had no reason not to be.
Well, his eyes will be opened one day.
By men he took into his house?
With excuses that a kid could see through. Slip in and out, a personal affair, and you can't wait to sleep with Versati.
If you insult me, I'll call my husband back.
Call him. He's still on the stairs, and I'll tell him everything.
Why don't you leave?
Do you think I can watch silently while another man conquers you? I can't allow it. When I saw you in the park, I wanted you like nothing else in my life. And when I found Versati here, overflowing with lust for you, my jealousy pulled me taut like a crossbow, and I knew I had to stop him. If I can't have you, neither will he.
When is it you have to go to work?
You underestimate me, Frau Mask. You won't sleep with him.
You are a child.
Softening.
It wasn't my fault what I saw. I'm being pulled along by it. You see, Frau Mast, I have been a solitary person, shunned all my life. Well, almost. And when I saw you in the park, I had a new companion, my desire. And suddenly, I wasn't so alone.
I think I understand.
Look, I promise you, I will never transgress any boundary you set for me. And if you ever need protection from that brute, I would, till my last breath, stand by you.
Slyly.
Maybe in time we could become friends.
And Herr Versati?
Oh, please. He's a fop. I don't have any interest in him.
I don't have much experience with women, so I don't know if you're fooling me.
He might want me, but you're forgetting my part in the matter. You think I can't see through this Don Juan? To him, I'd just be an easy conquest. Do you think I'd give up all this for a meaningless fling?
Oh, by the way he looked at you, I thought you were.
He looked at me without permission.
Well, I will never look without permission. I will be undemanding, and the smallest thing, a breath, will make me happy.
Maybe you and I will have a future.
You're not fooling me?
Herr Cohen, I need you to go out and get some coffee. Would you mind?
Of course not.
You're such a gentleman.
She kisses him on the cheek, then gets his scarf.
You're not dressed for the weather. Here it is threatening rain. You better take this scarf.
Well, I won't notice the weather because now I'm healthy and strong.
He doesn't notice. Take the scarf.
There are umbrellas by the front door.
I love the way you say that.
She hands him a roll.
You need to eat. Take a roll.
You care about me.
How could I not?
Let's study Wagner together. We could be Tristan, and I could be Isolde.
I'll see you at supper.
Soon. Soon.
He exits. Gertrude enters with a package.
Who's he?
Someone dangerous? Yesterday, he saw what he shouldn't have seen, and now he's worked his way into the apartment. They're sharing the room.
A fantastic intrigue!
And the worst of it is, he suspects Herr Versati's up to something, and he swore he'd never allow it.
A spoiler.
I'm worried he might blab before anything's had time to happen.
What did you do?
I tried to make him feel secure.
Expert. And I'll keep an eye on him.
Indicates the package.
What's that?
The fabric for your new underpants.
She unwraps it excitedly.
It's so soft.
Better than silk. I'll make you 2 pairs. One special, the other very special.
It feels so good against the skin.
When these fall down, it will be in the dark of night. Let me measure you.
Louise
Help me move
hikes
the bench.
up
I'll
her-
need you up a little higher.
Louise hikes up her skirt. Gertrude takes a tape and measures her.
Gertrude, you're so beautiful yourself. Why are you doing all of this for me?
I've given up hope.
No, I won't let you.
Do you think there's any point?
Of course. Look at you.
Oh my God, Louise. It's happening to you now, as we speak.
What?
Your desire is alive.
Yes, I have made up my mind. It's the sweetest of dreams already. You can have it too.
I'll listen to you.
You can, Gertrude. You can.
You're making me cry.
Somewhere there's a man for you. How about the barber boy?
I'd rather have your husband.
They both laugh. Versati enters.
Aha! Out of the rain, I walk into the sun.
To Gertrude in a sorrow voice.
Stay here.
What was so funny?
We were talking about the barber,
What barber?
your new roommate.
Louise was suggesting I take him for a lover.
Gertrude!
And for an old maid, he's not so bad.
What old maid?
She's fishing for compliments.
Only a little.
Compliments must rain over you like petals falling in an arbor.
Gertrude flustered.
What's your opinion on this fabric?
Sorry. What's it for?
Points to Louise.
Panties.
You're unstoppable.
Soft. Sheer. That's nice. Thrilling to touch, but not as thrilling as the skin beneath it.
Gee, that touched me in a remote place.
Gertrude.
To Versati.
We were taking measurements.
Aha!
Louise is mortified.
Around the hips. Quite small hips they are, too. Now I need the length.
She bends down in front of Louise and pushes the measuring tape up her skirt.
Stop it!
May I make it a suggestion?
What?
Well, you measured it quite far down the knee. What's in fashion now is something a little higher.
Show us.
Gertrude, stop it right now, or I'll never forgive you.
Versati takes the tape and measures her skirt up to the knee.
The latest fashion is right about here.
His hand is up her dress at a point above her knee, inappropriately high.
I'm going to leave you two alone, but I'll be on the lookout.
He's not due home until 3.
That's right. You don't know. There's a problem. Someone else.
Someone else?
The barber. He wants to make sure you're never with her.
Aha!
I'm going to get more fabric. I hope you enjoy yourselves while I'm gone.
She slips out. Versati looks at Louise, approaches her slowly.
Louise.
She turns toward him, breathless.
Yes?
How do you feel?
I'm afraid.
You should be. At this distance, you ignite a warm blue flame in me. Nearer, I would be raised.
My breath quickens.
Your breasts swell already. I can see the muslin move.
My pulse.
What about it?
Rapturously.
It exists.
There are so many women, Louise. Pale blondes with subtle streaks of blue along their wrists, dark-haired, with elegantly cut figures, tall, short, somewhere jangling beads and stones or translucent dresses that silhouette in the sun. Some are so fragile that you touch them, like a leaf. Some are strong and you draw them into you forcefully. But you, Louise, are beyond category. And when I am with you, I will be in unknown territory, taking in my hands something unfamiliar and new, unlike anyone ever. I am on fire, Louise, and there is no doubt I am finally and forever in love.
Take me.
But he doesn't. Instead, he keeps walking.
Take me. In those 2 words, our fate. How beautiful when you say them. If I could capture that feeling on paper, I would be one of the greats.
Take me.
Take. I must take up my pen. My inspiration is so direct. What I write could not come out false.
Take me.
Yes, I will take you and transform you into words.
He picks up Cohen's scarf, wraps it around Louise's neck.
And when I am done, we will be as tightly woven as this scarf. I the warp, and you the weft. And then, and only then, will I demand full payment of your beauty.
He runs into his room. Louise to the air, her hands rubbing over herself.
My resistance is gone.
The door slams.
Hello?
She goes, and listens at Versati's door. Confused, she knocks again.
Versati?
From
5 minutes, please.
she removes Cohen's scarf and touches it to her face.
I the warp, and you the weft.
Cohen appears at the door, sees her, enters. He has a bag of coffee.
You're holding my scarf.
You scared me.
You were holding it to your face. Oh my God, Louise, you miss me so much that when I'm gone, you must caress the artifact.
He rushes to her and kisses her, a la Rudolph Valentino. She dangles for a minute, her arms limp. Cohen stands her back up, then faints dead away.
Oh!
She goes to him.
Water.
She gets water, throws it in his face. Cohen, coming around.
Are you all right?
Here, sit up. Ow.
She pricks her hand on something in his pocket.
What is in your pocket?
She removes a mechanical drill from his pocket.
What is this?
It's a drill.
Why do you have a drill?
It will tell me what's going on in Versati's room.
How?
Well, I was going to drill through the divider to keep an eye on him.
What right do you have?
Jealousy gives me the right to be a fool.
Versati bursts open his door and enters, holding up his pen triumphantly.
Triumph! My passion is now fully transcribed onto the page, set down in meter and rhyme.
He reads,
Once in place, love never breaks. It is ever fixed to the fixing place. Now, I am ready to take you upon my...
No, you are not ready, and you will never be ready.
Who are you?
I, sir, am your prophylactic.
Oh, really?
And you might as well know, she has no interest in you.
Tell it to Sappho, you nitwit.
I'm a nitwit? You don't have a wit to knit with.
Cohen, you're mad.
He's here under false pretenses.
How can a pretense be otherwise?
Don't wordsmith me. I've read his poetry. It creaks.
Like your knees.
You dye your hair.
I do not.
You do too.
Don't.
I dyed it.
Well, so did Wagner.
Wagner dyed his hair? Or dyed your hair?
No, Wagner dyed his own hair.
Never.
Absolutely.
Wagner wore a wig. Oops.
Both of you, stop it.
But we are arguing over you.
Gertrude
You're
enters.
muted.
Theo's coming.
I will not be won or lost in a fight.
She's right. Her will is independent of us.
Her will is independent of us. Sycophant.
Wet noodle.
Cohen
Plagiarist?
attacks Versati. They begin to
I'm sorry.
Plagiarist.
Cry baby.
Putz.
He's here.
Mealtime.
Carrie, you're muted.
Theo enters. Cohen and Versati stop wrestling. All adopt a casual pose.
Mealtime.
Blackout. Lights up. Dinner time. Theo, Cohen, and Versati sit around the table, which is covered with the remains of supper. Louise clears the plates. They are in the middle of a lively debate. Theo references the newspaper.
That monster in the Loch Ness. Tent cities with thousands of people have sprung up around the lake, all for something imagined.
The imagination is beautiful.
The imagination rots reality.
It didn't hurt Leonardo.
Leonardo invented a parachute that doesn't open. Cohen, I stopped by your barbershop today. Your employer had a hard time this afternoon without you. He asked that you be sick on Tuesdays, not Saturdays.
Well, it's the first work I've missed in 3 years. I mean, even the dog will have its rest, whether or not my boss thinks it's kosher.
Kosher?
Kosher with a C.
The important thing is to take care of your health.
A lot you care.
How do you mean?
Well, for one thing, you gave me a room that faces northeast.
And?
Well, this is exceptionally unhealthy. Everybody knows that a room facing northeast is subject to unnatural winds and Arctic breezes. This could exacerbate my condition, whatever that may be.
For God's sake, put the bed opposite the window. You'll be facing southwest.
Well, I never thought of that.
Here, I'll help you.
They exit to the bedroom. Luis and Versace are left alone.
You and I will be together tonight. It is written in the stars.
How can we?
I have a plan. I will take Theo out to the boulevard, get him drunk, and return alone. I will convince him to come with me.
How? He doesn't seem to like you very much.
At the dinner table, I will engage him in a battle of wits and then lure him into a drinking bout.
He cannot win a battle of wits.
Exactly. I will return in a few hours and make you mine. Will you be ready for me?
I will.
You must take care of Cohen.
But how?
You'll figure out a way. Your participation will heighten your ardor.
Is it wrong what we're doing?
It was God who gave me my passion. It is the devil who prevents it from being spent.
Let's go with God.
Theo and Cohen re-enter from the bedroom.
You know, I have a friend with the same complaints as you, and he knows his body like an office manual. I asked him about his ailments.
Yeah, what did he say?
He seems to think it's nerves, but the nerves affect the other organs, the liver, the lungs, the kidneys.
Liver, lungs, kidneys?
You're making Herr Cohen nervous, Theo.
Exactly my point. Nerves. Too nervous. Affects the liver, lungs, and kidneys.
But he doesn't think he has anything serious.
I don't have anything serious.
And then it is my duty to point out the list of possible serious diseases you might have. Gout, emphysema, whooping cough, mumps, aphasia.
Stop.
Meningitis, shingles, measles.
Is there a draft in here?
The window's open a bit.
Could we close it?
Here, wear your scarf.
Cohen to Louise.
I don't know what to say.
May I speak?
Your rent is paid.
That is the subject of poetry. See the way a woman's tenderness comforts the sickly and diseased.
He's not
He
comforted.
gestures towards Louise and Cohen.
He feels awful.
I am comforted.
My point.
He's only comforted because he's sick. If he were healthy, he would just be annoyed.
You're not annoyed when I serve you dinner.
That's because it's a function of duty. It's why when I go off to work, you're not annoyed because I am doing my duty. And when I'm home, it is your duty to serve me dinner. If everyone just did their duty and nothing else, the world would be a better place.
Duty? Is that all you think about? What about the softness of the serving hand, the warm cradle of the female caress, frocks with frills and polka dots?
You know what, Versace? You sound like a woman. These are not manly thoughts. A man does not think of polka dots.
I am a man who lives on the poetic side of life.
A man wields an axe. A man hews wood. He pisses against a wall. He shoots birds from the air with pellets. He does not put on brocaded cufflinks and stroll off into a garden to write poetry.
Many men have.
Yes, I've seen these sensitive men singing their hearts out on the stage, crooning love songs, weeping over their lady loves. Why would a woman want a man who acts like a woman? Let women go off and write poetry and stand on the stage singing of their broken hearts. Men, strong, vital men, should be at their desks, stamping documents, filing files, and going home at 5 o'clock.
Monotony.
Continuity.
Tedium.
Regularity.
It's barbaric.
How dare you insult barbers?
Versace, I like where I am. In the middle. I'm proud to have done no better.
Theo, is the woman next to you not enough to motivate you to a higher place?
How could I be motivated by a little housewife?
I am not a little housewife.
That's no embarrassment. I have descended from a long line of government clerks. You have descended from a long line of little housewives.
You could be an artist.
Do you think if I came home and sang to Louise of my tender feelings for the heavens, she would ever respect me again?
Yes.
You just think so.
Does the name Nietzsche mean anything to you?
One of the giants.
You've read him?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to know what he stands for?
No, thank you.
I'll lend you my copy.
I do not read.
You don't read?
Never. I work 7 hours a day. After that, I'm tired.
So, eat, sleep, work, that's your life, and where does it all end?
With a pension.
And politics doesn't interest you?
Doesn't affect me.
Science?
Ho-hum.
Theology?
The stricter, the better.
Poetry?
I'd rather sit on nails.
You disavow the power of poetry? I'll get you a volume. Promise me you'll read it.
Tell you what. I'll go to the zoo and see the giraffe.
Why?
Because a giraffe is like a poem. They both make no sense.
Here, Mask. A man is not all muscle. A man is a brain, a heart, a source of sexual power.
Please do not use such language in this house.
I'm referencing Freud.
I'm referencing me.
Herr Mask, a man is only what he contributes to the human race. The heroes are the thinkers, poets, painters, and musicians. And the layperson is only important to the degree that he knows them.
But what about being a man?
I am a man.
But no, you're not.
How can you say that?
Because I know what a man is. There is an essential act of manhood, and you don't do it.
Oh, there is?
Yes, there is.
And what is the essential act of manhood?
A man, a real man, takes care of someone.
A pause while Versace considers this.
I take care of someone.
Yourself doesn't count.
Herr Mask, let me ask you a philosophical question.
I enjoy a good philosophical question as much as the next fellow.
How would you know that?
Know what?
Well, I am the next fellow, and how would you know how much that you know that you enjoy them as much as I? It's,
Theo ignores him.
What is it, Versace?
Can you think of any circumstances where it would be all right for a married woman to have an affair?
Of course not.
Why?
Louise gasps.
Because only men should have affairs.
And what makes you say that?
Theo to Cohen.
Isn't it in the New Testament or something?
Yes, I think so. The book of Saint Louis.
Look, my boss's wife was having an affair. He found out about it, but decided to let her. He told everyone he didn't want to infringe on her individual uniqueness. That's where modern thought leads us.
The man's a hero. His wife can look up to him.
His wife despises him.
But he let her express herself.
She despises him from the bottom of her heart.
Look, I can settle this. I myself had an affair with a married woman. One night with me, and she ran back to her husband. She's been faithful to him ever since.
But it can't be allowed. It destroys the family.
And what if there is no family?
The point is, only men can handle it.
I can't believe that you believe what you believe.
I can't change my mind. I'd have nothing to think.
I could change your mind. I could open your heart to the arts.
Not so.
Might we go and discuss it over a glass of schnapps?
Yes, we might.
With your permission?
Yes, Louise. Would you mind if I went out to a bar with Versati? Ha, I'm kidding. Let's go, Versati. I can't wait to hear you stumble and fall. Go on. You too.
Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah, suit yourself.
Okay. As they prepared to leave, let me begin. It was Descartes who stated that we exist.
Someone had to say that?
They exit. Cohen looks after them.
I suppose you were hot as a pistol after Versati's Rhapsody.
No.
Now, I observed something about him tonight.
What is that?
Well, his passion is triggered by the slightest incident.
Like yours.
Well, my impulse was to protect. His was to possess.
Oh, please.
Hey, why do I get abused around here? You doubt me, Versati hates me, and Theo has been so incredibly cruel to me.
How?
Well, he gave me a room facing northeast.
But he moved the bed.
Too late. I had already been subjected to infectious viral winds.
Perhaps you should go lie down.
No, too early.
Take a walk. A long walk.
No, the night air would worsen my condition.
I'm not so sure you have a condition.
Oh, really? Then why, if I have no condition, did my doctor, whom I visited today, upon hearing my symptoms, prescribe these?
What are they?
They're called placebos.
You know, you are looking a little pale.
Pale?
Let me give you a tonic.
What kind of tonic?
A pick-me-up.
I'd better not.
Why, it will help.
Well, I never mix medicines.
Just a little.
No, my doctor warned me against it.
Are you sure? You look shaken.
I do?
Let me look down your throat.
Why?
Is it red? Oh. It's scarlet.
Feel my glands.
Tennis balls.
Touch my forehead.
An inferno.
Check my tongue.
Rabbit fur.
All right, give me the tonic.
Here, take a big gulp.
My nerves are failing. One night facing northeast and I'm falling apart. Ow. I got no feeling in my legs.
You poor thing. He
No
starts
feeling.
off to his...
Do you know how painful it is to have no feeling?
He gimps off to his bedroom, stiff-legged, stops at the door.
Boy, I'm suddenly tired.
He enters the bedroom and closes the door. Louise is alone. Well, I'm not just a little housewife after all. Gertrude appears outside the glass door. She knocks. Louise opens the door. What are you doing up so late?
I just came from the comedy. A play by Sternheim. Very funny.
Should I see it?
Nah, wait till it's adapted.
Are we alone? Oh.
Are we
We're-
alone?
We are.
So, this afternoon, with Versati.
What?
I want to drink in your happiness. I want to see the light dancing in your eyes. Tell me, what happened? Every detail for your guardian. How did it get started?
Well, he stood over there.
Oh my God.
She runs to the spot, feels the air with her hands.
There's still heat here. Where were you?
Near the bedroom.
Oh my God. Then he came to you.
He stayed where he was.
And?
Talked.
Perfect! He seduced you by words alone.
He said he was finally and forever in love.
That unlocks the legs. Then what happened? He neared you.
Yes. Closer and closer.
He makes the lightning shoot through you. And in the face of his masculine power, your body is weak.
I lost all my senses.
Louise.
And then he came to me.
And?
Talked.
And?
Spoke.
And?
Talked.
And after he had said it all?
He left.
Did what?
Left.
He left? Where did he go?
To his room.
And you followed him in?
No.
Because?
He locked himself in.
So nothing happened?
No.
Then why do you look so happy?
He wrote a poem to me, swearing his love forever. And he's coming back tonight.
Ah, ha!
He has a plan. He's out right now getting Theo drunk.
And Cohen?
I gave him your sleeping medicine. I told him it was a tonic. Why are you crying?
Deception. Lying. Trickery. My little girl is all grown up.
She goes over to Louise and hugs her, then breaks.
I wonder why he behaved so strangely this afternoon.
Strangely?
A man will not put off till tomorrow what he can sleep with today.
Well, of course.
Eh? Cohen must have been here, hiding, spying on you.
He wasn't. He walked in right afterward.
Ah,
That is a bit odd.
darling. He noticed Cohen spying. He delayed his gratification for your honor. He galloped to his room with balls of blue. He sat at his desk like a unicorn, the ink from his pen pulsing onto the paper, all to keep Cohen from knowing.
Do you think?
Louise, you're young. You don't know the machinations a man will go through for a woman. It's a great show. Enjoy it. Tonight at the comedy, I saw a man climb walls, fight duels, all for a woman he wanted. For all of his effort, you must reward him. When Versati comes through that door tonight, you must be ready. I'll be a lookout. If your husband comes home while he's here, I'll bang 3 times. Amore.
She exits. Louise is left alone in the room. Amore. She locks Cohen's door. She begins to undress in the dim light, down to her slip and panties. There is noise on the stairwell. Footsteps. She stands, vulnerable, open, waiting. Theo enters, sees her.
Louise, what if a man came in?
Theo exits the bedroom. Louise is left alone on stage to lament. Blackout. The next morning, Dirty plates from breakfast are on the table. A single place setting. Theo is in the living room in shirt sleeves and suspenders. He talks to Louise, who is in the bedroom.
This is a sloppy job you did mending my suspenders. I hope you're not servicing these men at my expense. What were you doing last night standing in the living room? Practicing to have your panties fall down? Thank God neither of our boarders is around. Cohen hasn't stirred and Versati won't be here till after lunch. I can guarantee you that.
What happened to him? He didn't come home last night.
He kept making a point in ordering a drink. He would say something incomprehensible and triumphantly demand another round. For everyone I drank, he drank too. My body is thick, and the alcohol settles in the legs. He is thin, and it quickly rises above the eyes.
Where did he disappear to? Did he need to go right?
How should I know? I must say, I'm pretty good at this philosophical debate. I cornered him a few times.
Where did he sleep?
Who knows? But I think whatever brought him here has evaporated. Where's the sugar?
We're out.
Out. I want to stop nagging you, but you won't let me. What about Cohen?
He complained about his room facing northeast again.
The man's insane. What? Are north and east inferior parts of the sky? For a miserable 12th taler, he wants me to throw in south and west.
I open the door to Versati's room and peer in. Versati's things are still here. He has to return. Doesn't he?
The man vanished like a vapor. 1 minute in my face, the next he was gone. I drank too much last night, and now I've got a sloppy drunken diarrhea. I'm amazed you could sleep with all my trips to the toilet.
But a man wouldn't just stay out all night if he had other obligations.
Oh, my dear, you are so naive.
I suppose that I am. I'd like to go to church today.
Stay here. I need you around.
Theo, I don't ask for much. I want out of the house, just for a few hours.
No, your place is here. And don't bother me. I'm trying to sort out something that's been rattling around in my head.
What? Putting on my coat and get dressed to go out.
Curious? You might be amazed. Just give me an hour to think about it. In fact, I need to be alone. Why don't you go off to church? It's a good place for you to be seen. And someone's got to atone for your drop panties.
I was going anyway.
No more ladies' magazines for you.
Louise ready
to leave. Cohen enters from the bedroom, spry.
What a sleep! Either that or a coma.
You're up late. You missed breakfast.
I was out cold. I fell asleep on my hand. And when I woke up, I was still on it. It was as though I had been drugged.
This stops him. He looks at Louise, but he dismisses the idea.
I'm off.
Mention my name. God likes me. So, you slept well. You must like the room.
No, I hate the room.
So you want to move?
No, I want a year's lease.
Cohen, you are bizarre.
And Versati has a year's lease. As long as Versati's here, I'm here.
Rents are rising around here. In 2 months, it's worth 15.
12. We agreed. Hey, where's the sugar?
14. And no sugar.
13, and I want sugar.
In advance. And no sugar.
But that's my savings.
Going.
All right. To have it done with.
He takes out his checkbook. Theo goes to a drawer and retrieves a form. Let's sign. Cohen starts writing his check.
I can't believe that a man who uttered the names of Luther and Schiller could do something like this.
For 1 year, Hair Mask leases to...
Herr Cohen. Oops, that should be with a K.
Cohen corrects the spelling of his name on the check. Theo reads again. 1 room, including morning coffee. Without sugar. Without.
Give me that.
He angrily signs, hands Theo the check.
I'm going out to get some sugar.
Leave it in the kitchen where we can all use it. Cohen exits. Gee, it was just a whim to ask him for more. I'm stunned that he did it. 28 thaler altogether times 12 is 336 thaler a year. I make 600, that's 936. Our expenses are 950, 960. We're almost living for free. Gertrude comes to the door, knocks. She's holding a package. Come in.
Is your wife here?
At church.
Have Versati?
They're all out.
Oh.
She starts to go. What's that? You're hiding something.
A package. Nothing.
He approaches her, playfully grabs package. You're pretty today, Gertrude.
I don't believe you.
Well, if a man says it, at that moment, it is true. Theo opens the package. They are panties. He holds them up. Well, silk and lace. Anyone who wears these is asking to be taken seriously.
They're not mine. They're a gift to Louise.
You would look beautiful in these.
You think so?
Old ships don't hoist silk sails.
Meaning?
If you had these on, you would be irresistible.
Hair mask.
Don't think I haven't noticed that you are of sound bottom.
I didn't know you were like this.
You don't know me at all. I know you've never thought much of me, and I let you, because so what? But today you come along in that dress, and now with these.
I was just going to give them to your wife, to fit them on your wife.
You know who's in and out of this building. Louise is at church. You must have seen her leave.
I'm taken aback.
A euphemism from behind? I don't think this is so shocking to you.
What makes you say that?
You haven't left.
If Louise knew about this.
I'll never tell her because it would hurt her. But I've done it before. Not often, but with pleasure.
A man is, in the end, a man.
Only since my voice changed.
How could we look her in the eye?
Desire adjusts morality.
You might not like me. I'm 42.
Rivers still flow from rusty pipes.
That's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me.
I want to sleep with you. It won't take a minute.
I'm torn. On one hand, yes. And on the other, why not?
Theo puts his hand on her rear.
Don't touch me there.
Here?
Better.
Come into the bedroom.
Are you finally and forever in love?
With what?
Oh.
I'll be in the room. I'm going to take off my pants. When you come in, I'll have a little surprise for you.
Little.
She takes the underpants, goes to the door, stands, trying to make up her mind. Klingelhoff enters. Gertrude doesn't see him.
No! The devil will find me.
She turns, sees Klingelhoff, screams.
Ah! Who are you?
I'm I'm here to rent a room.
The landlord's not available right now. Could you amuse yourself for a few minutes?
I don't like being amused. I'll wait around the corner.
He exits. Gertrude looks back at Theo's room.
Oh, Louise. Someone will rob you of your innocence. But it won't be me.
She takes the underpants and rewraps them, leaving the package where Louise can see them. She exits.
Theo enters from the bedroom in his underpants, refers to his groin. Damn it, Gertrude, the moment passed. Theo realizes Gertrude is not here. Versati enters.
Ah, good, you're home. in your underpants?
It's tradition around here. He returns to his room and gets dressed.
I can't wait to tell you what happened after I left. You will be amazed while you were staggering home.
I had gas. Home is the only place for passing gas.
Well, I hate to say it, but you challenged me. The philosophy of my life suddenly under question.
Please, I'm an assistant clerk.
You were such an event for me. Theo, the bureaucrat, a life-altering encounter. I paced the riverbank, up and down, thinking about what you said. Then I noticed a shadowy figure.
A thief?
A woman. An angel. We exchanged rapturous glances, not of lust, but of mind. And suddenly, I knew you were right.
About what?
A man must take care of someone. So I followed her home. And there in the dim candlelight she poured forth her goodness, her spirit, in short, her soul. I fell to my knees and bowed down before her. Every day she offers her body to anybody, but when she comes home she dwells in the land of divine spirit.
A prostitute. Nothing wrong with that. I admire the working man.
I can't sleep. I can't sleep until I take care of someone. See that she is clothed, fed. I will cook for her, clean for her.
You have it backwards.
And write her down on paper. I shall filter her image through my heart and write a sonnet, an ode. Aside, perhaps a quatrain with an added pentameter. The Academy would be shocked. Back to Theo. Each night I shall read to her, elevate her soul, and we shall dwell in the clouds.
Versati, you have performed a miracle.
How was that?
You have utterly changed your beliefs, and yet your actions remain the same.
Yes, it's the mark of a politician. I am going to get a place near her. I have never been so motivated by a woman.
But you have a year's contract.
I won't break it. I'll pay it all right now.
He takes out some cash and puts it on the table.
Go ahead and rent it to someone else. I'll pick up my things later.
There's $6 too many.
Keep it.
May I say you're inexplicable.
All I am is a man of action. I am drawn irresistibly toward that woman. In a few months, I will send you my masterpiece.
He goes towards the door. Klingelhoff appears.
Oh, sorry. Goodbye, good friend. In the world of jam, you are a marmalade. I must write that down.
He exits, leaving the door open. Klingelhoff enters. Who are you?
Someone told me there was a room for rent here.
Come in.
When will the landlord be available? I must interview everyone thoroughly.
I am the landlord, and you're in luck. A room just came free. 16 thaler, including breakfast.
Are there any children in the building? Tubas in the building? Sewing machines? Parrots? Banjos?
None.
You're married?
Yes.
Is your wife young?
She is.
Flirtatious? I wouldn't be happy with that.
She's not.
You stay on your guard. I don't want men around.
I am never fooled.
Very well. Any personal contact must be avoided. Your wife, when she's doing her duties, must, before entering, knock 3 times. She must wear decent clothing, not ripped or revealing. There must be no salacious talk, implications, or otherwise questionable innuendo. Instead of coffee, I'll take tea. Coffee stimulates. When I get excited, I've been known to utter a foul string of obscenities. I'd rather avoid that. I suffer from constipation, but that's my business.
Yes, it is.
I'll try the room for a month. My name is Klingelhoff. I'm a scientist. My things will be delivered here promptly.
I will need a contract. Let me get my papers. Sit here. Klingelhoff sits in the corner of the room. Theo heads towards his bedroom. Enter Cohen, who sees Klingelhoff.
There! Sugar! Who is that?
Klingelhoff.
He's a new tenant. He's staying here.
Where?
In Versati's room. He has just checked out.
What?
Versati paid in advance and he left.
He left?
Gone.
Why?
Some woman he met.
What woman?
A woman he met on the street. Theo exits the bedroom.
A woman he met on the street? With Versati gone, I have no use here. I cannot protect those who are not under threat. Herr Mask!
Theo enters with papers.
I'm leaving.
You're going too?
I'll pick up my things later. I'm keeping the sugar, and I want a refund of my rent.
A deal's a deal. You said so yourself.
I'll call my lawyer.
You don't have a lawyer.
I'll become one.
If the room rents, I'll refund. Otherwise, nothing.
All right. I'm leaving this house. But may I say, Herr Mask, not only am I Cohen with a C, but I thoroughly enjoyed, in fact, relished in the delight of seeing a certain view in the park the other day. But it wasn't all of the king's horses and all of the king's men, but something much more wonderful.
What? Cohen with a C?
I shall return tomorrow morning to gather my things.
Louise enters.
Good day, Frau Mask.
He exits. Louise, take care of him. I have paperwork to do. He exits to the bedroom. Louise takes off her scarf and coat. She turns, sings Klingelhoff.
Well, who are you?
I am one who prefers the formal to the familiar, and therefore would appreciate a less aggressive inquiry.
Well, you, sir, are in my house, and I would like to know who you are.
I am your new tenant.
Our flat is fully rented.
Not anymore, evidently.
Since when?
Since today. Your husband is drawing up a contract as we speak.
She goes to the bedroom door. Theo? Theo pokes his head to the door, a half-drawn contract in his hand.
You're late. Did you confess at church?
Yes.
I hope it did you good.
The priest made me tell the story over and over. After the sixth retelling, I received complete forgiveness.
That's a relief.
He starts to go. Cohen's gone?
And Air Versati. Checked out.
Versati? Did they say why?
Cohen was enigmatic and Versati was insane. Something about meeting a woman and being swept off his feet.
A woman? What woman?
Someone he met last night. Said he'd never been so moved by a woman before. Said he wanted to write poems to her.
Oh. He retreats into the bedroom. She takes the poem Versati gave her from her bosom and reads it. Once in place, love never breaks. She takes the poem to the stove and throws it in, and then turns and glares at Klingelhoff. He walks toward him. So, you're just another man applying for a room in our house.
That is why I am here.
Yes, you're just looking for a room, I suppose, to do your work. A room to get away from it all.
Exactly.
To pursue with diligence whatever is your area of interest, which is, in this case, let's see, poetry, a quiet study of the arts?
In fact, science.
Ah, science. And I wonder if perhaps you were in the park the other day for the King's Parade?
It is one's patriotic duty.
Under a linden tree.
Linden trees line the boulevard.
And what did you see?
Oh, something wonderful.
So it's just a coincidence, is it, that you came here, to this place, to seek a room next to the famous pair of underpants?
How dare you?
Oh, please. Now that I've learned to read a man's face, I can see that lust is written all over yours. Klingelhoff turns toward the audience, mulls this.
Madam, I have no idea what you are talking about.
Oh, really? Well, does this ring any bells? She lifts up her skirt high and shows him her underpants.
Oh, my Lord High Chancellor!
Did you say you don't know what I'm talking about?
I swear it, I don't know.
But you said you saw something wonderful.
The king! I saw the king!
Then you really don't know?
Let me just say that this is the kind of conversation that I have avoided my entire life. I have not only left rooms, but countries that have tried to engage me in perversity, and I cannot believe the filth of this kind has penetrated into the very heart of the German home. You're behaving like an American.
You're here to rent a room.
Pardon me?
You're here to rent a room.
I was.
And you changed your mind?
Most undoubtedly.
May I ask why?
Why? Because a few seconds ago, you lifted your dress over your head.
I did what?
You lifted your dress over your head?
I have to ask you. Are you subject to delusions?
Oh, what do you mean?
Do you ever misplace things?
On occasion?
Ever go to the market and forget why you're there?
Sometimes age does that.
Yes, age can do that, as well as make one believe that someone has lifted her dress over her head.
You're saying you didn't?
I assure you, it's not in my nature. I just came back from church. But I forgive you.
Well, then, my dear lady, I apologize.
That's all right. It's quite a common symptom of genius.
Oh, yes, I'm sure I've heard that. I think I need to rest. Would you tell your husband that I'll come by tomorrow to sign the contract, and that my things will be here at week's end?
I will. Herr
Klingelhoff.
Herr Klingelhoff.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
Don't think about it. Go off and rest. Theo enters from the bedroom.
Where is he?
He said he will come by tomorrow to sign. He wasn't feeling well.
Oh, he better. We already have a verbal agreement.
He seems sincere.
And what would you know about it?
Nothing, of course. What would you like to eat?
That pork chop you've been saving. Tonight's a special night.
What do you mean?
How long have we been married?
1 year today.
Oh, yes. Happy anniversary. Did you know that the two gentlemen who stumbled by chance into our house and now enhanced by a third, do you know what they've done?
I don't know.
Can't you guess? They've made it possible for us to have a baby. We can finally afford it. What do you think?
Of course.
She goes over to the window, stares out. I send you a kiss in celebration. We can start in a few minutes. It shouldn't take long. Every evening before supper until the job is done. Oh, and by the way, I want the pork chop rare. Put butter on it.
He paces about the room.
The dishes need washing. The clock needs winding. The floor needs cleaning. You should see the priest every Sunday and midweek too, for a while. Whoa, I've got gas.
He heads toward the bedroom.
And look at this.
He reads the headline.
The monster in the Loch Ness has vanished. The tourists have left and the economy is down. The crowds come and go, quick to move on to the next sensational thing. I'll get ready. Come and see me in a few minutes.
He exits. She looks toward the bedroom. She touches her belly. She goes to the package and picks up Gertrude's fancy underwear. She holds them up to her, then enters the bedroom. Blackout. Morning. Lights up on Louise, sitting at the kitchen table. She is thoughtful, moody. There is a rap at the door. Come in? Cohen pokes his head in.
Oh, sorry to bother. I've come back from my things.
I can help you.
Well, I couldn't ask you to. I can do it.
Sit then. Would you like some coffee?
I would. Thank you. I'm sorry Versati is gone.
How could you say that?
I'm sorry for you. I know you liked him.
That's the odd thing. I didn't.
I understand.
You do?
Yeah, we were all caught in a trap of circumstance.
How so?
Well, this event, this failure of a knot and a string, catapulted us into rare air. Our desires became disconnected from this earth. Versati motivated by fantasy, myself motivated by jealousy, your minds clouded by romance.
Why did you leave?
Well, I suppose my jealousy finally exhausted itself. If, I longed to come down to earth, my normal life wasn't so bad.
The most peculiar result of all this is that now I'm with my husband.
Ah.
He has reclaimed me.
Just so. Still, it's strange.
But there's something even more strange.
My leaving?
No, though you have meant something to me.
Versati's sudden reversal?
No, Versati is a man of reversals. It's something else. Something that leaves me surprisingly empty.
Well, may I ask what that is?
My fame is gone.
Ah.
I was so desired.
Yes.
But over nothing. An accident. Everyone wanted to be near me. I was notorious. But they left as quickly as they came.
You have real worth, Louise, but our eyes were drawn into the dirt.
She hugs him. Theo enters.
Cohen, she's occupied territory.
Good morning, Herr Mask. I just came to pick up my things.
Well, Louise is not one of them.
It was just a friendly goodbye.
He starts to leave.
Hold on, Cohen. Let me say one thing to you. I will miss you.
Miss me?
Yes. You stirred things up around here in a most unpleasant way, but it was still lively, and I like you for it, which proves one thing.
What's that?
The individual is not indicative of the group.
Well, in your case, Herr Mask, the individual is indicative of the group.
Klingelhoff enters.
Excuse me, I've come to sign my papers.
Yes. Cohen, Kringelhoff is your replacement. I don't think he'll be dancing any jigs, but he's an interesting fellow.
Ugh, I'd rather be dead than interesting.
Gertrude enters. She has a package.
I have a surprise for you.
She unfurls a pair of fancy underpants made with the colors of the German flag and holds them high.
Well, splendid.
Do you like them?
Oh, yes, they're lovely.
I can feel movement down below. How can you be so calm, Klingelhoff?
Because I know this is not happening.
Herr Klingelhoff, don't you like Gertrude's German flag?
It's beautiful, and I salute it.
Oh, someone's coming.
Perhaps Versati, but to ask for his rent money.
No, the footsteps are too heavy.
We're not expecting anyone.
The for rent sign is out of the window.
The footsteps increase. The cast is attentive. Finally, an elegant man enters, dressed in full regalia. The cast sees him, and they all fall to one knee.
Oh, my lord! Why, it's the king!
Louise, I told you this would happen.
Klingelhoff leans over to Gertrude, takes the new underpants from her, and lays them across his arms as though he were presenting a flag, and supplicates himself before the king. The king looks bewildered.
Your lordship.
Please rise. Is this the home of Theo Mask?
Yes, it is. I assure that what happened the other day.
I have heard of your work, Herr Mask. How thorough you are. How concerned with detail. You are a blessing to the German people as well as an asset to the king. Once every several years, I like to visit my administrators and reward them personally. And I am pleased to tell you, Herr Mask, that you are being promoted to assistant overclerk in the king's personal offices.
Oh, Your Highness, to think that word of my dedication reached your ears is reward enough.
Herr Mask, I shake your hand.
He does.
If only there were more citizens like you, our society would tick like a German clock.
Thank you, Your Highness.
It is I who salute you as a servant of the German state. Goodbye.
He starts to exit.
Oh, one other thing. I was wondering if you have a room for rent. I am looking for something small where I can get a little work done. Nothing much, a little place to get away to perhaps write poetry.
Why, Your Majesty, I'm sure that could be arranged.
I'll have my men deliver some rubber goods tonight.
They all bow to him as they leave.
I'm checking back in.
Gertrude runs for the exit.
Where are you going?
I can hear better from upstairs.
She exits.
Oh, what about me? There are no rooms left.
You'll share with the king.
Thundering pussy ass balls.
Louise, go and ready the king's room.
She turns to him, but doesn't move.
Louise, I said get the king's room ready.
She stands, walks to her room. In my own good time.
She strolls to her bedroom. Theo stands shocked. Gertrude smiles. Blackout.
So thanks everybody for watching. That was the Underpants, read completely blind and cold by people who've never seen the play or rehearsed together at all, with characters that were selected and assigned randomly 20 minutes before we started reading the play. So I hope that you've all enjoyed watching this little production as much as we've enjoyed doing it. I'd like to thank everybody for participating. I'd like to thank Carrie, who tried to narrate for us, but had some technical difficulties and had to drop out in the middle. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming and helping out with this. Hope you had fun doing it. Thanks to everybody for watching at home. We hope we've made your New Year's Eve a little more interesting. If people enjoy this, maybe we'll try to do one of these again sometime. So it's pretty fun. So thank you and good night.